Carlos Medel, also known as El Dorado, an A-list Purgatory gladiator who fights in the tournament against the Kengan Association. He was originally known as the Don Juan of Acapulco. Carlos is a small man, yet very lean in stature. He wears the calavera, a representation of the human skull. The term calavera is often used for handmade skulls that are edible or decorative and are used in the Mexican celebration of Dia de Muertos, or the Day of the Dead, which is also known as All Souls Day. He was bulkier and much more muscular years ago, during the peak of his professional boxing career. He's a good friend of Jose Kanzaki, a Super Japan pro wrestler, and also an A-list gladiator of the Purgatory. Carlos Medel became the undisputed champion of the middleweight class of boxing 14 years ago, despite being shorter in both height and reach than the average boxers of the same class. After being awarded of his championship title, he immediately surrenders his belts after inauguration, until he eventually went further on to dominate every weight class, way up to the heavyweight class. And every time he shifts to a higher weight class, he builds his body by increasing body weight and gaining muscle mass to reach the certain weight requirement that he became completely unrecognizable from his middleweight days. Eventually, not only did he gain muscular physique, he became so strong that he defeated the last heavyweight champion available. Consequently, Carlos Medel's onslaught came to a halt because there were no one else left to challenge him, and also due to his promoter having a bad reputation that he couldn't get the matches that he wanted. And when all was lost, he then decided to vanish from the public eye. Soon afterward, after leaving the public stage, he got involved with the strongest fighters in public combat sports in the Brazilian underground martial arts scene. This is where he encountered martial arts that he had never seen or experienced before. He then realized that his weight was becoming more of a handicap for him, and decided that he will have to lose weight, even if it means to lose power. Aside from that, he knew that he needs to increase his range and add more techniques to his fighting style. In order to do this, he must first learn how to kick. While researching, he stumbled upon a certain fighting style that will match his requirement, an Afro-Brazilian martial art, Capoeira. Capoeira, a martial art that combines the elements of fighting, dancing, and acrobatics in a very distinguished kind of way. This martial art grants your body with physical strength, power, flexibility, rhythm, and evasion. It also enhances creativity, courage, self-confidence, concentration, and the ability to spot a target for kicks. For an average practitioner, it usually takes years to master the art of capoeira. But for Carlos Medel, it only took one reference book and 20 hours of practice to master it, and without the need of a partner. He also blended his technique with another martial art, an Eastern martial art known as Digong Kwan. Digong Kwan, also known as ground tumbling boxing, is a martial art that originated in the Shandong province of China during the Song Dynasty. This martial art grants the ability to perform tumbles, falls, turns, leg skills, somersaults, and aerial acrobatics, using those techniques for both offense and defense. after completing his technique. He then lost weight of around 40 kilograms of muscle mass and now weighs 53 kilograms at best to maximize his speed. His status and power was even compared to that of Kuroki Gensai by both Kano Agito and Oma Tokita. Carlos was the only boxer who's ever been ranked above Gaolang Wongsawat in the pound-for-pound ratings. His overall power seems to be due to the fact that he's a genius striker. Carlos was an incredibly fast fighter as a bantamweight with the experience to match. He has a technique of stopping his strike at the moment of impact, usually targeting the nose, causing it to bleed profusely, creating a psychological effect to his opponent as it's not a knockout blow. This technique was first witnessed when he struck Yumigahama Hikaru, a former fang of Metsudo, without him even realizing it, as revenge to what he did to Carlos' friend, Jose Kanzaki. As Carlos seems to give importance to friendship, Carlos used this technique when he countered Gaolang. His apparent foresight ability allowed him to dodge Gaolang's special, the Flash Combo, which not even someone as Kaneda Soikichi's level could do. If Gaolang's speed was referred to be as fast as the speed of light, he claimed to be faster than the speed of light. However, Gaolang, a striking specialist, was able to perceive the pattern of his movements and later predicted where he will evade and go, and was able to land a strike to Carlos. And because he weighs a lot less, that he is almost skin and bones, his ability to absorb damage and blows went down as well, and cannot take nearly that many hits, that even jabs can hit him hard and damage him. Gaolang, having the opportunity, then released a powerful left straight, but amazingly, Carlos was able to evade a supposedly undodgeable attack by laying on the ground. Gaolang was baffled and was reprised with a kick from below, but Gaolang is sharp and was able to block it, hitting Gaolang's left forearm instead, thus revealing Carlos' technique. As Carlos shifted to Capoeira techniques, he was able to even grab Gaolang's legs to use it as leverage to try and land another heavy kick. Carlos then aimed to strike Gaolang's joints, causing Gaolang to stagger. Carlos exploited this moment and gave Gaolang a powerful right kick. Carlos continued to attack Gaolang, but then Gaolang saw an opportunity and released a powerful right straight. But as the strike was about to hit Carlos, he was able to deliberately kick Gaolang's right fist. The impact should cause it to break and render it unusable, as Carlos knows that Gaolang's right hand is fragile and that Agito had shattered it before. But to his surprise, Gaolang repelled the attack and his foot was injured instead. Little did Carlos knew that Gaolang was able to restore his right hand, even if it was said to be beyond repair. Gaolang underwent partial training for a year without missing a day. This training usually takes a long period of time, even years, to yield results. Gaolang spent every day and night striking the makiwara, a steel post wrapped in rope. Without stopping, Gaolang struck again and again until it caused him to faint out of exhaustion. He tortured his right fist, and it was nothing short of madness. However, Gaolang's madness led him to achieve an unbreakable and even more powerful right fist. Having injured his right foot, Carlos reverted to boxing and was able to counter Gaolang's attack. Carlos is fast and is dominating the fight, but Gaolang already knew his movements and was able to land a powerful body blow. Carlos is down. He suffered a considerable amount of damage, but even with excruciating pain, he was still able to stand up and recover by using shallow breaths. But Gaolang wouldn't let him recover and kept on attacking. Carlos is afraid of Gaolang's right fist. He tried to use evasive maneuvers, but was unaware of Gaolang's Muay Thai techniques. Carlos got hit again and again until Gaolang unleashed a new secret technique, the God Blow. Carlos was overwhelmed by Gaolang's most powerful strike and was about to fall off stage. But the genius striker had a plan. He knew that he was no match against Gaolang's incredible power. He intentionally led both of them to the edge of the stage and brought both of them to fall on the ground, causing Gaolang to lose by touching the ground first. That led to Carlos' victory. Purgatory now leads by a point against the Kengan Association. Although Carlos won the match due to the tournament rules, he was really no match against Gaolang's power, as he technically lost the fight. Carlos did have speed, but speed without power can never prevail against Gaolang's level, as Kengan Association fighters win by knockouts or by killing their opponent. Carlos Medel was then taken out of the arena with a stretcher.